Well, thanks for joining us, Coach. Big series this weekend against North Dakota after UMass was home. So first, a lot of firsts early in the season. Now your first chance to go on the road against a very good hockey team. What are your thoughts going into the weekend matchup?
Well, it is exciting as a group to get on the road. I think that routine, that schedule, that connectivity is important. It doesn't matter the weather. We're going there to play hockey, so it's one of those. But to get on the road would be a first. We look forward to that. It's kind of a good escape. I think you actually, when you play at home, maybe you get a blend of game that you could be better on the road if you didn't try to make the extra play for the fan at home. So we got a little bit of that. Very talented team in North Dakota. Depth up front, a lot of speed. They make a lot of plays. All new decor, new goaltender. We have to try to get after him and make sure we do a good job and stay as a group.
Without giving too much away, what does the preparation look like for your team during the week as far as practice?
Well, I'll hit the obvious, and that's special teams. We're continuing to build and grow that. Whether it's the right guys on the seats on the bus or just getting some guys on and off, both. And then there's the other part. We just want to keep getting after goal. We want to get after goal scoring. We want to get after seconds. We want to make sure we're raising our tenacity around the net. And the goose egg is not a good look for us, and we want to make sure we continue to tend to that manner.
Questions for Coach Strand.
Coach, obviously there's a lot of road trips you can make in college hockey, but playing at Ralph Engelstad Arena, in your first one as Division I head coach, how special is that going to be for you?
Yeah, it's a historic building. Obviously, a historic program at the same time. It's exciting. I mean, I think we've got to find ways to leverage that for ourselves, use that excitement, make those boos that maybe can get loud and ferocious there. We got to quiet them down, and whether that's just in our mental block or maybe be on the right side of the ledger so that they don't get as loud. It'll be fun for the guys. I mean, it'll be fun to go into when you get there and you see that the student section's full during warm up. That's not every place you go to. Obviously, very knowledgeable hockey base, but a fun atmosphere to go into.
You touched on the special teams a little bit. Obviously, your power play did struggle last weekend. How much of a balance is it, trying to make tweaks and adjustments, but also not, trying to put any more pressure on guys, and there may already be just in terms of, not wanting guys to start gripping it or trying to be maybe too cute.
Yeah, it is a balance. I think a lot of times when you don't score, you want to get finer and cuter and make a bigger, better looking play instead of being maybe simple in going back to some fundamentals and basics. So we've probably put more time into that than we have, designing a new scheme, et cetera. It's about execution and getting some completion ratio out of that. It's we've said it since the beginning. Power play is a momentum builder. You need to, if you're not scoring, you generate chances, generate momentum. We got to make sure we stay on task with that part. But you want to find that balance. We've got to practice it. We can't ignore it. That's not going to make it go better. But at the same time, we're not losing sleep and dwelling over it. We got other places of our game to keep making progress.
In terms of North Dakota, the film that you've seen on them, what are some areas that stand out as strengths or things they do well?
Well, their forwards got a good skill set. They get around the rink. They make a ton of plays. We'll play bigger forward groups in this, but at the same time, I don't know. All three zones, they have a ton of stick skill. They make plays. They can make them individually. They make them collectively. All new decor, an area that we probably have to try to see if we can't get into, and if there's a spot on their team that's maybe under familiar, it's that part. But you got to get to that line of defense to get to the goaltender. He's off to a great start. So I think they've got team balance with depth, with skill. Again, they're at a home. They've had a good weekend for themselves. We got to make sure we take advantage of what we can control and be sharp with our efforts and sharp with our discipline.
What are some things about going on the road that look a little bit different? Is there any sense that, I've heard coaches talk in the past about sometimes there can almost be less distractions on the road. Are you excited to finally get a road trip? I know you want to be at home, but is it nice to actually, kind of get one finally here out of the way? Because you obviously have to do it at some point.
It is. I think they're twofold. The road gives you a routine and a schedule that is very encompassed by our whole group. It's you get rid of the random, you get rid of the mom and dad in town, you get rid of some of the things that you maybe have at a home series. At the same time, the road challenges would be just it's not your home. It's not your bed. It's not your hotel. There's some things that maybe get off kilter because you don't control them as much. But I'm looking forward to the idea of us getting on the bus, the hotel time, meeting time. I like the inclusion that we're all pretty much together and go enjoy ourselves as a group and make sure we just go keep taking care of each other where without having the sense of having to appease a lot of the hometown.
Last one, Zach Kranik is someone we haven't seen in the lineup yet. Just wonder if you had any update on his status returning from an injury.
Yeah, he's still in orange, but I can tell you he's skating more as far as volume. He's getting more time on it. I would say he's made improvements with what he can do with restriction wise. I wouldn't expect him. Next week being a week off would be a big week for him to try to make some gains. Hopefully, by the time conference schedule comes around, he's very close. We just want to make sure that he's fully healthy, just so he doesn't go backwards after dealing with what he's been going through here. So he's close at the end of the day, but still not ready.